Good morning, Mindful Millionaires. So I have some really exciting news and I'm gonna make a little ceremony out of this, but I got the box of books that the publisher sends me, my personal copies, last night, and they came in a box, and I knew that if I opened them, I wouldn't be able to sleep because I just want to read and dive in. And so I waited till this morning, and we're about to go kayaking, but before we go kayaking, I'm going to do a little ceremony. So, okay, here's the books. Big box. Ta-da! There's the books. We are going to light a candle. As someone who books have always been my life, like they just were symbolic of oh, how fun is that? Books. Somebody knew that I was a book. This was a gift from one of my clients. Books, she knows how big of a book fan I am. And I have to like crouch down. But I have literally read thousands and thousands and thousands of books. Like, I am a crazy person as it pertains to books. And when people hang out with me, they're like, I've never bought so many books, because Lisa's always got like not just one, but many, many books to share. So books are my life. Like, books awakened my soul. Books allowed me to connect with spiritual teachers that are living and also, you know, have been dead for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years. Books are like the most amazing thing as a human being that we can pass down to our children, to our grandchildren. Like, oh my gosh, books are amazing. Like, who hasn't just been touched deeply by books? They're just the coolest, amazing thing, because we can put so much information in just, you know, a couple hundred pages and change somebody's life as a result of a book. So that's what books mean to me. Like, they're everywhere. My husband's like, we don't have enough house to put our books in. So yeah, that's me. It's kind of like a symbolic birthing process, right? So we are welcoming this book into the energy of the world, to what's going on with COVID, to all of the hope that I think each of us have, that this is a turning point in the history of the United States, in the history of the world. Like, they'll look back at these times and think they figured it out. Like, they figured out how to change things for the better. How cool would that be? Like, that's what I think we're going through right now. And I feel like this book came through me. Like, it wanted to come into the world right now. And I'm so honored, because it doesn't, I read it and I'm like, oh my gosh, where'd this come from? So they have turned things, you know, moments where you're like, I have no idea where to go. I have no idea how to help myself. And then we pick up a book and it touches our soul so deeply and so profoundly that we're like never the same again, right? Like, that has happened many, many times with books. And the idea that this book wanted to come into the world right now, bringing spirituality and money together in a completely different way, that is using teachings that go back, you know, 3,000-4,000 years. So here we go. I couldn't open it last night because I was like, I won't sleep if I open it. So what happens is, when we're negotiating the deal, because the rights have been sold to St. Martin's Press, different than a self-published book, we get a certain number of copies that the publisher sends us directly, so we can give them to friends and family. And okay, so there they are. But let's see. Oh my gosh, it's so different. It's so different than the book that I have here. It's got this really cool texture. Ooh, I really like texture. It's the little things, right? Okay, so there she is. And then Vicki Robin, who is just like a total rock star in personal finance. She wrote Your Money or Your Life. Pretty much the first like money book I read in like 1995, I think, where it just rocks your world and you think, oh my gosh, I get it. Like, she was a profound person who touched me deeply, and I got to talk to her several years ago on Zoom. Well, Grant, who wrote the foreword for the book, he's really good friends with Vicki, and so he gave her the book, and she read the book and took her time, and then she came back and said, Lisa Peterson offers a graceful and highly useful weave of spiritual and financial tools. Without addressing the inner dimensions of money, thoughts, beliefs, cultural conditioning, trauma, you may have $1 million but still be miserable, even with a Rolex. Lisa offers a detailed and programmatic roadmap for integrating money and life. Woohoo! So, okay, so thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this moment. Yeah, it's super exciting. I can't even believe it. I hope, my wish all along is that the people who need this book find their way to it, and that it changes their lives in profound ways, that they stop struggling, that they realize that they don't have to suffer in the way that they have, and that there is a pathway out of their pain, whatever ways that shows up. One person recently told me, who read the book, she said, you could insert the word food for money, or you could insert the word relationships for money, and it applies. So the process is like consistent because it's truth. It's like, it's a manifestation of a process that allows us to change our lives if and when we're ready, modeled by the 12-step program, inspired by The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, inspired by Think and Grow Rich. Like, all of those books have inspired me to write this one, and I'm so proud, and I can't wait to get it. It's like almost a week away. So thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful 4th of July if you're here in the United States, and take really, really good care of yourself. I'm sending you lots and lots of love, and again, thank you so much for sharing this moment with me. Namaste.